So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to my Galaxy A71 unboxing and first impressions video. Now, this one's gonna be the bigger brother to the A51 we talked about just a month ago or so, and it seems like that phone is gonna be pretty good as well. But this one went for around $450. I paid for it, and I think it's gonna be a little bit more than that depending on where you are. Just check your local prices to see what it's going for, but I think this hasn't even launched in certain countries yet, so it should be coming soon. Now, this phone does come in multiple colors. It comes in Prism Crushed Black, Silver, Blue, and Pink. I believe this is the blue one I got right here. So let's go ahead and unbox this baby. I got my razor right here and see what does come inside of the box. Well, of course we know it's a phone, Nick, duh. So you can see, we're gonna unveil this right now. And here we go. There it is, Samsung Galaxy A71. So let's go ahead and pull this out of the box, and you can see just this beautiful blue color here. I decided to go with this color because I just think it stands out here. It's just gonna look really good in different lightings. And you can see inside the box here, we do get a set of headphones, white set of headphones with this blue model. And we do get a USB-C cable. Always appreciate that. Now, I think this is the international model, so if you want to get the US model, it's not officially available in the US yet. You can buy it in the US, but it's not officially available, so you're going to have to wait maybe till spring when Samsung does bring this with the US charger in the box. But it's still going to work with GSM networks like T-Mobile and AT&T if you just wanted to go with this global model like I have here. Now, further revealing what's in this box, you can see that we should have a case that comes with this phone, just like with the A51. You know, it's pretty nice to see that we get cases inside these boxes these days. We didn't really get that on all phones before, so at least they get you started out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Samsung did go ahead and they put, like, you know, a screen protector right on the phone itself. So let's go ahead and see what else comes in this box. And we should get some more warranty guides and stuff like that. There's also a SIM card tool right here. We don't need that stuff anymore. Goodbye. Get out of the video. We got stuff to talk about here. The Samsung Galaxy A71 Infinity O display, a quad camera on board, and super fast charging. So let's go ahead and rip this plastic off really quickly. So let's go ahead and rip this plastic off. Well, that was pretty satisfying. And I got to tell you, on first impressions, this phone feels very similar to the A51, but that's not a bad thing. I'm really loving this blue back on this Galaxy A71, and these sides, they look pretty premium here, even though this is not your $900, $1,000 phone right here for the A71. Now on the back, you can see right there, it is another quad camera setup, just like we've seen, again, for that A51. So this is definitely the bigger brother here to that device. You can see at the bottom here, it does say Samsung right there. There's no A71 branding, just Samsung right there. On the right side, we do have ourselves a power key, and we do have ourselves a volume rocker. Now on the left, there is the SIM card tray. And at the bottom, you can see headphone jack still on this one, USB-C, a speaker grill right there. At the top, you can see just that whole microphone hole, and you could see, look at the bump on this camera. It's just pretty small. It's not that big. So this is going to be another hit amongst budget buyers, I feel like, with the Galaxy A71. Let's go ahead and boot this thing up. And you can see it says powered by Android, so it's probably running Android 10 right out of the box. Now this phone comes with 128 gigs of storage. You can get it with 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM. This micro SD card slot can hold up to 512 GBs. There's supposed to be a 4,500 milliamp hour battery in here, so that should be great. On display fingerprint sensor, face recognition, 64 megapixel main camera. Wow, I mean, ultra wide 12 megapixel. This is packing quite a lot of specs. You even have 6.7 inch full HD 2400 by 1080p display on here. That's a Super AMOLED Plus. So really, flat display as well, no curves. This is gonna be a great option for those of you in this price range. Let me go ahead and get this thing booted up, and we'll take a look closer at the Galaxy A71. Now I can confirm to you, while we are getting boot up here, that this does have a screen protector pre-installed. So if you didn't want to buy a screen protector, this might be a good option for you. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but if you look very closely, Samsung did implement that onto this phone. So it's just a little neat thing about this A71 along with the A51, an already pre-installed screen protector. All right, guys, so we're in the phone, and that display, it's just beautiful. I mean, for the price you're paying for this, this is basically a flagship tier display. Now it's not dynamic AMOLED, it is Super AMOLED, but I mean, really, it just seems like those are just names, because when I look at this phone and I look at even the Galaxy S10, it looks pretty similar. Yeah, the PPI is a little bit higher for S10, Note 10, but this is not gonna, annoy anyone, I don't feel like. You can still go vivid and natural here on this device, and you do have the ability to turn on gestures as well. So this is not going to be a phone that leaves you out of the nice new features that you get with Android 10, such as the full screen gestures, which is going to be great because you're getting a 6.7-inch display, and also you can take advantage of most of that. So let's go ahead and confirm the version of Android this is on. Let's go to software information here. You can see Android version 10, One UI 2.0 on board here for the Galaxy A71. I also want to go ahead and confirm the storage on this device so you know exactly what you're going to get right out of the box with this phone. If you go with the unlocked model, you should get 105.7 gigabytes right out of the box. Another thing I always like to look at is the wallpapers of a new phone, because Samsung throws in a different set of wallpapers for pretty much every one of their phones. It's just a little unique thing they do there. So you can see that seems to be the unique one with the Galaxy A71, whereas these are pretty similar to what we've seen on the Galaxy A51. So just turning up the volume, I'm noticing this is going to be a pretty loud speaker on this phone. I will confirm if it's dual speakers in the full review. And you can see, just going through, we have most of what we come to love about Samsung here. All of our advanced features are pretty much here. If we go to advanced features, you're going to see we have side key settings, we have direct share, reduce animations, motions and gestures everywhere. So this phone is not leaving you out of some of the most premier features you're going to find on even the upcoming S20. Now right here, if we go over, you can see this does give you the edge screen as well. And you would think, oh, it's not an edge phone anymore, but you're still getting one of your favorite features in the edge panel. So that still does exist here. Now my phones seem to have a little bit of bloatware going on here. We have Netflix pre-installed, WeGo flights and hotels. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this stuff here. Something I never really like about the Samsung phones is we have a bunch of Samsung apps and we have a bunch of Google apps pre-installed. Now, we also have Microsoft apps now since Samsung has been collaborating more with Microsoft, so you can link your phone to Windows and stuff like that. Also, it looks like YouTube Music is pre-installed. So there's quite a few apps pre-installed on this phone, although not a lot of junkware, just some of the most useful stuff. You probably use most of these anyway, but just keep in mind, it's not fully bare bones out of the box. So let me go ahead and open up that camera and see what we're working with here. So there we go. Let's take a quick photo. Looks like we can go ultra wide and we have a standard wide on this phone. But if we go over here to more, it looks like we have night, panoramic, macro, pro modes, as well as super slow, slow motion, hyperlapse, and food modes. Now, when it comes to video, I didn't like that the A51 can only record in 4K, but it couldn't do it in 60. Looks like the A71's not giving you that option either. And that could be the Achilles heel here for the Galaxy A71, but considering this does have a really good Snapdragon 730 CPU in here, it should offer up some better performance than the A51. So I'll keep an eye on that in my usage throughout my usage of this phone. And from that front-facing camera, we're talking about a 32 megapixel selfie camera on here, f2.2 aperture. So not the brightest out there, but it should do well. It also has that a feature where you can back it out a little bit so you can get a little bit more people in the shot. Live focus right there. And of course, you can change your aspect ratios as you can do on the rear. You can also pull this little shutter key over here if you can't reach, depending on the angle you are taking your selfie photo. But overall, I think it's going to be a pretty good selfie camera. And that front video size will max out at 4K as well. One nice thing is I got this nice video wallpaper I just wanted to show you really quickly here. So it's going to be 2D scanning up here, so you don't have any Face ID type stuff in here, just using the camera, so not going to be the most secure method. But you will have fingerprint sensor built right into the display, as I mentioned a couple times already. I will test that out for the full review. And if you look up here in the notifications panel, you're going to see that there's tons of features here, but you're not going to find reverse wireless charging on this device right here. That's just a feature reserved for the more premium tier phones, but you got Dolby Atmos, a focus mode. You also have link to Windows, scan QR codes, power modes. And speaking of those power modes, if we go into the battery settings of this phone, I just cannot wait to test this out, just to see what this 4,500 milliamp hour battery can do. That is a pretty large battery considering this is like a mid-range level phone. It's not the most sharp display. It's not the most powerful processor. This should have some amazing battery life in the Galaxy Galaxy A71. So being an upgrade over the A70, it looks like this should please people who didn't actually get the A70. If you have the A70, this is going to be a tough call. But overall, to me, it just kind of feels like the bigger brother to the A51. And that's not really a bad thing, considering the A51 is a pretty nice device for what Samsung is asking for it. Now, I know there's other phones on the market that have faster processors, you know, they're cheaper, but they're not Samsung devices. They don't have the Samsung software, which some people just like. So before you start saying, oh, I could get this for cheaper, I can get that for cheaper, I can get the X2 Poco phone for cheaper, you can go get that if you want, but you're not getting a Samsung software, which is what some people want. So let me know what you think of the Galaxy A71 based on this first impressions. Again, I will cover this way more in detail. This was just a first look, a first impressions. It feels a little bit plasticky, but you know, it's glass-stick, so it kind of feels like glass as well. It doesn't feel cheap. Let's just put it that way. The older plasticky Samsungs from before felt a lot cheaper. So I think this is gonna appeal to people who really wanted a premier Samsung phone. They want a big screen and they just don't want to pay the big bucks. And yeah, you can get like a Galaxy S10e or an S10 around the same price point, but you're not getting a 6.7-inch display. So let me know down below what you think about this one. I'll catch you all in the full review of this video. Let me know if you want to see some speed tests as well as some camera comparisons, maybe battery comparisons with the A71. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well and peace.